child, I watched with pride as you grew into a weapon of righteousness.
But to preserve it, you must be willing to fight.
Hello everybody, what's going on? My name is Sir Medieval and welcome to the World of Warcraft Classic. Today I wanted to give my first impressions, or only impressions rather, on the game so far because it's something that I've dealt with quite a bit over the last few years, but it's been a lot of on and off stuff, starting back in 2004 when I was well, I'm still young, but very young. Anyway, I was just getting out of school on one of my summer vacations. I don't remember what age I was specifically, I think 11 at the time. And I had never heard about this game before. A friend wanted me to get into it, but she wanted me to play on a specific server, but then ended up going to another server, or staying on a server rather, and just playing with their friends. So I got stuck alone on this game without knowing anything about it, not knowing anybody. And I actually made a dwarf warrior, which I've always loved the dwarven lore. Anything that really relates to dwarves, whether it's Lord of the Rings, Dragon Age, like I don't care. If it's a dwarf, I'm loving it. And this time around, I decided to go Night Elf because over the years, I've definitely grown more attuned to their lore. But I do love the dwarves nonetheless, and you know, any really situation that we have, dwarves are my jam. So I made a dwarf warrior back then, really enjoyed it. And ironically, the last thing and the most memorable thing that I remember about vanilla is exactly what we're going to do right now, which is a Gnomeregan run. So that is what we're getting ready for right now. I'm actually heading over with the party at the moment. And right now, Gnomeregan is probably like one of the most hated dungeons in Classic, if not vanilla, now that people have probably had a lot of experience with it and don't like it just in general compared to everything else. Most people just want to run it one time and then be done with it. I couldn't really find a party, to be honest, for Scarlet Monastery, so we couldn't do that. I don't know why, but everybody's doing these 10-man runs right now with, you know, melee DPS and a lot, like, basically no casters or little casters as possible, so what are you going to do? You know, you're a priest. Which I was feeling the entire time today that I should have rolled Ret Paladin just because I forgot that they actually get a free mount at 40 alongside Warlocks. Some people said that yeah, they pay for it at 60 because they have to pay for like this training and then pay for the mount and all that. But I'm just like, but yeah, you get it at 40 for free though. Like that's awesome, right? But anyway, aside from that, what we got to do now is I just want to get this dungeon run going and talk a little bit about the experience overall. I got to say that it's actually a breath of fresh air. It's easier than I expected, or easier than I remember rather, but then again, the game's been alive for like 15, 16 years, so it's obviously going to be a little bit different now than when we were all children, or when we were all in our teens or whatever, because we know so much now, and we've had so much experience with games like these that, you know, this is just nothing at this point. I could totally see where people say that this game was kind of advertised as being casual friendly, like back during that time when EverQuest was out and all those other games like Shadowbane and, you know, Ultima Online, Star Wars Galaxies, things like that. I could totally see it because compared to like for instance, compared to a Sandbox, especially one that has full loot where you can actually lose your crap if you die, yeah, this is very tame for sure. It might be grindy, of course. You might die a lot. Anything could probably kill you, but at the same time, the penalties that you get are not as severe as it could be. Now, playing games for years when it comes to like sandboxes and ones that are full loot PvP, it's definitely a different situation. It's more relaxed. You know, you're able to kind of take it at your own pace and enjoy yourself. However, as we know, there's been a lot of people that have been rushing ahead. People that have played private servers and things of that nature that have completely blazed through the levels. I personally haven't done a private server for vanilla. What happened in vanilla was that essentially my account ended up getting hacked. I was pretty dumb back then, and I remember like a couple nights after that memorable Gnomeregan run, I actually got a whisper about what's called a pet trial, which just from the sounds of it now especially, it sounds very stupid, but you know, I was very young at the time. I didn't know what the hell was going on, and all I heard was this pet trial, and I was like, oh my god, that sounds awesome. So I go to the website. Long story short, looks the same as World of Warcraft's website, and lost my account essentially. So yeah, that happened. But overall, I never really tried to get the account back. That was before they had two-factor authentication, and plus I felt too embarrassed. And not only that, but I didn't know how big World of Warcraft was going to be. That was World of Warcraft's probably like the 4th game I've ever played. RuneScape being my first, and I mean played as in online PC, because I was a console gamer like all my childhood. Loved it, absolutely. Freaking Fable on Xbox, Kingdom Hearts on PS2, just Smash Brothers on GameCube, and all those other kinds of games. It was awesome. But overall, I didn't really, during that time when I was playing World of Warcraft, I was kind of becoming a game hopper, because when I played RuneScape for so long, about a year plus, actually, after that was done, I played Guns the Duel, which I played that for a long time as well. But around the time I got to World of Warcraft, like after MapleStory, at that time I was kind of getting into the mindset of, hey, there's so many games out here, I need to explore them all. So I regret not giving it the chance, at least, of getting to Burning Crusade and finishing that, because I ended up missing out completely on Burning Crusade. And that's an expansion that I would actually, because right now I don't have a lot of time to play World of Warcraft Classic at all with work and everything, but I would make an exception for Burning Crusade for sure. If they were to release Burning Crusade servers, which I'm hearing is a possibility, I think I would actually jump on that too, because that's something I think I would thoroughly enjoy. I think that's the real experience that I've been kind of wanting as well and craving. I did want to, get to in-game and Classic and kind of see what it was about, experience that, but really it's not going anywhere. I mean, this just came out, so there's all the time in the world, right? Plus they do it in phases, so they're not going to be releasing other content for quite a bit now, so yeah, who knows what'll happen there. But overall, I'm looking forward to the journey for sure. In terms of the game itself, it seems like it's definitely, like I said earlier, a breath of fresh air, but mainly because so many games these days, they're just so bare bones. Like when they come out, especially in the MMO department, we don't really get a lot there. Like there's not a lot of gravity to it. You really don't care about the story or anything like that. But World of Warcraft Classic, I could see, like, even coming in as a fresh player, you could obviously see that there's something here that's special, and I like that. And like I said before, with the private service thing, I actually ended up playing World of Warcraft again back in Wrath of the Lich King. That's when I made a Blood Elf Death Knight, don't judge me. And I love the PvP aspect a lot. So I actually, when I missed Burning Crusade, I jumped back in Wrath of the Lich King and loved the PvP. And then I skipped MoP and Cataclysm, thankfully. I did play a little bit of MoP, but like that was probably about 2 hours worth. Like that doesn't even count. I don't know why, but I couldn't get into MoP, and judging on how it turned out, probably didn't miss much there. But what I did jump back into was Warlords of Draenor right before Legion came out, and got some experience there. So I didn't get any like vanilla / Burning Crusade experience, but I did get some Warlords of Draenor or Legion experience, and did raiding and stuff like that during that time. Battle for Azeroth I couldn't really get into. I lasted about 5 days, mainly because it felt just like Legion, really. Just even the starting maps, like, you know how you have that drawing board that you can fly this griffin or whatever the hell to different maps and complete the zones. Well, I felt like it was Legion, but with less appealing maps. Like, I didn't really like the maps in general, but I don't know, maybe that's just me. I love, honestly, the worst biome for me ever personally is desert. Like, I love winter biomes, I love grasslands, forests, things like that. You put a desert in front of me, or you put me in a desert, I'm gonna have a problem with it more than likely. So for me, those maps just weren't really that appealing, and I never really got to the storyline, meat and bones of it, or the raiding, things like that. I just couldn't last long enough. But World of Warcraft Classic feels like a breath of fresh air for sure in comparison. I feel like right now for me, it is a much better experience than retail, and I think a much better experience for me than retail has been for quite a while, to be honest. But to each their own. Each people are going to enjoy the game in a different way. So if you enjoy the updated experience, then that's just your preference. That's completely okay. But me, I'm playing a Shadow Priest, and oh wait, I'm supposed to pretend that I'm a healer. No, I'm just kidding, not pretend, but I should probably heal these people, because that's what I came here to do. Oh god, get it off me. You want to help me? Oh my god. I can't fear it. I was gonna say, if he let me die right when I was buffing everybody, probably should have waited a bit before I started doing that. Oh god. Talk about being close. Alright, well. Said I was a healer, didn't say I was the best healer, right? Let me just get some mana back, because that was a little intense for me. Very much so. All I was doing was buffing. I don't know why I pulled everything in its mother. But I was kind of surprised to see that there were certain add-ons that were available for World of Warcraft Classic. When I did actually play Legion, I started out playing a Resto Druid. Wait, hold on. Are we inside? Wait, where is he? Yeah, okay, not yet. But anyway, yeah, I started out as a Resto Druid, and I worked my way over into Mistweaver Monk, and I did like it. I loved healing. But one mod that I was or add-on rather, that I was very, very relieved to see was for Classic 2. It's called Decursive. I've never done Click or Healbot or anything like that. I usually just use Grid, and this one on the left side, as you can see, because I know you might think it's weird that I'm using technically three different raid panels. This one's a default one. I can't really get rid of that. But this one is Voodoo, and this one is Grid right over here. So I've used Grid a lot for the past few, year or so that I played World of Warcraft in general. So that one I always like using. But yeah, Decursive is available for Classic, even though I haven't downloaded it yet, which I definitely should at some point. But that was one I used to love because that's a debuffing one, and it allows you to actually see who's got a debuff on them, and you just click it basically, and it just debuffs it right off of them. Helped me a lot in Legion dungeons as well. Especially, I think the one that was, what was it? Eye of Azshara? I think it was Eye of Azshara, possibly. Whatever one it is where you have to go through the, how do you describe it? It's like this open platform filled with water, and there's all these water-based creatures and things like that, and then you have to fight a Hydra, I think. Yeah, and then you also have to, basically fight the boss at the end, and there's tornadoes spawning and all this other fun stuff. So hard to describe, but that was one that had a debuff mechanic that if you didn't debuff it, it caused you some big grief. So I was lucky enough to have that Decursive add-on to see that kind of stuff. But as you can see, Classic is a lot different. It's nothing that's going to be considered next generation or anything. It's not really meant to. It's kind of meant to showcase what it was back then and give players that experience that they were hoping so much for, because around the time those private servers got shut down and things like that, even though there might still be private servers out there right now, people were really missing the classic experience or vanilla experience that was created for them. So this was kind of the company's way of saying, hey, all right, we've heard you, we'll give you what you want, here you go, kind of thing. And also probably to make some more money on the side too. I'm sure that it wasn't all just about, giving players what they wanted. I'm sure somewhere down the line, somebody brought up the idea that, hey, maybe this is actually going to make us some more money. Well, whoever did that, good on you for sure. But I can say, though, if you're thinking of playing World of Warcraft Classic, and honestly, if you don't have any other games to play, even if you do have other games to play, I think Classic is an experience that should always be experienced at least once. And I mean, with all the people that are already joining into Classic, I'm guessing if you're already playing it, then you're good to go. You probably are. But if you're not, then yeah, I could definitely recommend it. I mean, everybody could. It's something to play for sure. It's definitely something to play, and it's also something to enjoy. It's also a gritty. It's fairly unforgiving where it counts. In terms of balance, there is a bit of unbalance, of course, but that is to be expected in games of this genre, and not just of this genre, but in this time period. So you'll find pretty quickly that certain classes might be way more useful for certain things, or just only taken over other classes in certain cases, which in a lot of ways that's actually a good thing too. I mean, yeah, for sure, especially in other games, but Classic kind of takes it a little bit to the next level where you can't, there's something that you cannot do well, kind of thing. So certain specs, for instance, might just be considered completely useless to a certain party that I mean, there will be a lot of players from the private servers in Classic, and since there's so much time that the game has had to marinate in general, and for people to kind of understand what's useful and what's not, you'll find that if you're playing certain classes, you might have a lot of trouble in certain cases finding parties and things of that nature. You'll be relieved to know, though, if you plan on playing like a healer class, or if you plan on playing a DPS class and you happen to be someone who's a caster, or let's say like a ret paladin, or things like that, druid, then you can actually heal in your DPS spec. For instance, I am a shadow priest, and for this specific dungeon, for this specific instance, I'm okay to heal because because my character is capable of it, but also as long as nobody dies, nobody's gonna mind. So that definitely helps, and nobody is going to die. I've actually healed this dungeon a couple times so far since Classic has started. Not by choice, but I had to do those quests, and you got to do them. But yeah, overall, you can actually get around that kind of stuff by using your other spec in the meantime. Same thing goes for other classes too. If you want to, like, let's say, use a warlock, you could potentially use a specific spec, and then well, for warlock it's just always going to be DPS, but regardless, you could probably skip by on maybe using one of the more powerful specs in the beginning, and then later on switching over to the one you really want. To be honest, I haven't had much experience with the warlock specializations in a vanilla standpoint, so couldn't really tell you how much that's going to hold up. Extra if someone wants. Oh, okay. I got you, Nicky boy. Hold on. This is great. I don't even have to really sit down for mana that much. I did have a ring that I was supposed to put on at level 32, though, that I want to. It's called the Charged Gear of Concentration, and it actually gives me +4 mana every 5 seconds, which that part I'm pretty excited about. That sounds awesome. And because Classic takes so much time to do, I probably won't be able to play it like all the time right now. I mean, there's so many... Oh god, it's going to be a busy month for September, and busy couple of months for sure too. We're starting to get all these game announcements and MMO announcements out of nowhere, and all I can think about is like, where were you in 2017, first of all, when we were just left in the dust, okay, had barely anything to hope for the whole year. I was waiting for dark and light for that entire year pretty much, and we were skipping by on GIFs and screenshots that we found in a backwater Russian Facebook wannabe site called VK. So as far as I can say, that was a bad year for games overall in MMOs. But luckily later on in the year we got some Divinity Original Sin too, so at least that was a little bit of a good sign, at least, that things were going to get better from there. And they pretty much did. They're starting to get much better. We're starting to see different kinds of games from different genres and things like that. And from what I understand, it looks like they're planning on bringing back other servers, like I said earlier, like the Burning Crusade server. So I don't know if it's 100% true, but if they are planning to bring out Burning Crusade servers at some point, and maybe even Wrath of the Lich King, like some other people have said, and I would definitely say too, I hope that they give us the ability to transfer over our other characters, but then at the same time, who knows, because they might want you to experience it from the ground up, or if other players get in there and you've already got like level 60 pluses or 70 pluses, then who knows how that's going to go, or how that'll be looked at. But I'm sure overall something will be done about that. They'll get some ideas and see what they want to do, but yeah, we'll see what happens there for sure. Did I get it? Oh yes. Sorry, I had to. Oh man, I just got a sweet ring. This thing is awesome. Oh whoops. Hello. Are we... What the f... Oh, we got a problem. We got a problem. Okay. Now I know that whenever you drop down and... Okay, I gotta see if I can get out of combat. Wish I had feigned death. Okay, which way did they go? They went that way. Okay, cool. Warrior rolled need on that? What the hell? I guess he had to feel more enlightened about himself. Can't do that while in combat. Well, get me out of combat, please. There we go. Alright, perfect. There we go. I really should get some more mana real quick. You guys got this, right? You got this. Pull him back. Oh crap! Don't tell me I'm gonna pull the arm. Wasn't me. I think we got him. I just need to get some mana real quick. That's all. I don't know what it is about healing, but for some reason I tend to love healing quite a bit. I'm still feeling like I should have went Red Paladin though. I don't know why, but I wanted to go Red Paladin originally, but then people kept making fun of Paladins and I started getting self-conscious about wanting to go Paladin and I got nervous about it. Should have just said screw it, man. All right. I gotcha. All right. They're regenerating mana, thankfully. Okay, sweet. Oh, I got to rebuff everybody too. I don't know why he needed a spirit. Mana regen, probably. Oh. That's great. That's fantastic. I'm just not going to burn all my mana this time. Come on. Okay, and then myself and Grip are the only ones that need to get buffed. Give me a second. Hold on. Whoa. Let me get some mana back. Hold on. I think everybody's got a buff now. Okay, sweet. Overall, though, I'm looking forward to seeing where the game goes itself. I mean, coverage-wise, this game is insane. Like, it's had so many viewers on Twitch already, and I'm sure YouTube is having a lot of the same kind of thing. I haven't really checked yet because I've been knee-deep in playings for the past couple of days, so things have been kind of hazy there. But overall, it seems like it's doing the gaming community a lot of good. So, you know what? More power to everybody who keeps enjoying it. More power to the company who keeps on providing it. I'd definitely be interested in checking out some of those Burning Crusade servers. Probably not going to have a lot of time to play it, to be honest, over the next couple of weeks or so for Classic. But I'll definitely do what I can, trying to get that in-game experience. I don't know if I'll cover it that much either right now specifically. Want to see if I can, you know, try out those other games at the same time, but also do what I can to experience this one and that experience that I missed out on in 2004. Also, clear the mines, please. Hold on, it's getting kind of hazy. Got you. Hold on, Nick. Because apparently you're tanking. Not anymore. That's a landmine. Okay. Okay. I got you. Look at me trying to give some. Oh my god, trying to give some support and say, "Hey, watch out for the mines." All right. Oh, I could really use that. Oh, sweet. Oh, sweet. I'm almost that level of tailoring. All right. We're getting there. I could use that. I could probably... Silk cloth. Yeah, I could use that to level up. That's actually not bad. Silken thread. Silken thread? That part's going to be a little odd. All right, folks. But anyway, thank you guys so much for joining. That's pretty much all I have to say about Classic WoW. Overall, if you are thinking of trying it out, I'd say you got nothing to lose. You only need to have a WoW subscription. I'm guessing you might need the battle chest as well to actually have an account, but that's probably going to run you about 20 bucks or so. So about 15 to 30 bucks total, depending on what you have already. So I'm sure you probably do have a World of Warcraft account. If not, though, then you might just need to get the battle chest, and that also does come with the free amount of subscription time. So actually, that might be only about 20 bucks that you're having to pay max. So got nothing else to play, might as well. You're not losing anything except your life, of course, especially if there's a queue, because, and there's always a queue, depending on which server you go into, so that's the only thing. Yeah, so if you log on early in the morning, kind of get your queue started, by the time you get ready to go, or, you know, wake up or get off work or whatever, come right in and play your heart's content off. But, yeah. Anyway, thanks so much for joining. Hope you guys have a wonderful night or day. I'll see you next time. Later. Ooh, nice. Nice off tank.